All right, it's watch list time, everybody. Okay, let me set the scene for you. A few years ago, I was attending a conference, the Association of Healthcare Journalists, okay, and a Wall Street Journal reporter named John Carreyrou was one of the speakers. So he was the author of a book called Bad Blood, Secrets and Lies in a Silicon Valley Startup, okay? Everybody was so excited to hear what John had to say about a company called Theranos and its very dynamic and highly publicized CEO named Elizabeth Holmes. I had to admit, I had never heard of Holmes or Theranos, but I couldn't stand it. I thought, I've got to hear what this guy has to say,
right.
Because he wrote a whole book about it. All right, well, her company more or less claimed that it could change the face of modern medicine, but after his talk, I wanted to know everything there was to know about this story. And there is a documentary that can help you get up to speed on a real life story that is almost too bizarre to be believed. Watch this.
What do you dream for?
That less people have to say goodbye too soon to people they love.
I had heard about Theranos and Elizabeth Holmes, but her story is so compelling. She was going to herald a revolution in medical treatment in this country.
It was obviously such an incredible story. A woman creating this $9 billion company.
Everyone worshipped the ground she walked on. She could do no wrong. She was the next Steve Jobs.
The idea with the Edison was to stick the lab inside the box.
She wanted Edison devices in every home in America.
This could be the Apple of healthcare.
You all are part of something that is going to change our world. What higher purpose is there?
Elizabeth came to me and she described her idea. It's impossible, physically.
Elizabeth was lying about the accuracy of the blood tests.
It's all a show.
She didn't want anybody to see what was going on in there.
We don't need to explain ourselves to competitive companies.
She aligned herself with very powerful men who succumbed to a certain charm.
She was deceiving investors to the tune of $400 million.
It comes back to fake it until you make it.
There was definitely something going on behind the scenes. She had bulletproof glass on their windows.
Anything I typed was watched.
It was very scary.
Like, what are they trying to hide?
The mantra in Silicon Valley is move fast, break things.
That's not the way you approach science that's going to be impacting people's lives.
Quite frankly, people can die.
It snowballed into this crazy situation.
In a panic, I went and bought a burner phone. I called the Wall Street Journal.
What is coming out of her mouth is not reality.
She never thought she had any limits. She was going to conquer the world.
This was real lunacy.
Can you tell us a secret?
I don't have many secrets.
Okay, so the HBO documentary is out. It's been out since 2019, and it can be found on all sorts of streaming platforms. Believe me, it is worth a watch, and I'm showing you this because her trial starts this week. It actually starts.
I read that.
You've been hearing about it. I'm sure you're going to hear more about it. Apparently, jury selection begins tomorrow. But the gist of it is that, according to Elizabeth Holmes, who came up with Theranos, she dropped out of Stanford at like 19 years old, starts this company, believing that one little drop of blood, because she didn't like the finger prick, didn't like to give blood, right? But one drop, you can get every test you need to get out of one drop of blood at a very highly portable machine.
Right.
Well,
everyone could have one in their home.
Everyone could have one. And she got some Walgreens in on the deal out on the West Coast, a couple of states. And so, all these people think, oh, man, she's got it going on. We'll put a little money into this company. And the next thing you know, it's huge. Then the whole thing kind of starts to fall apart. But get some of her board of directors, Henry Kissinger, Rupert Murdoch, he was an investor. So she and at least one co-conspirator are accused of defrauding investors and patients. Now, who's to say that Elizabeth Holmes did not truly believe that this machine could eventually perform the task?
That is what they're saying is going to be the tough part of this trial.
Can you prove intent?
Yeah.
Don't know.
Yeah.
Intriguing story, really intriguing. I mean, from beginning to end. I'm sure the trial will be as well, but you should watch this if you want to get up to speed. By the way, Tyler Schultz, the grandson of former Secretary of State George Shultz, was pretty much the whistleblower.
Yeah.
That caused some family disputes, but it's layer upon layer of intrigue, really is.
What's the name of it?